My name is Kendall. I go to Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, and I'm a senior in Zeta Tau Alpha. So what made me choose Zeta is that going through the recruitment process, I felt like I could be myself. I was also recruited by my future big who was involved in Greek InterVarsity, and she made me comfortable talking about my faith during recruitment, which already made me feel so welcome and comfortable being openly Christian in Zeta. I've loved Zeta the past 4 years. It's completely changed my life. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. My fall semester freshman year, I started going to the Going Greek Bible study with Ashley Gordon, and it was just freshmen that planned on going Greek, gathering and doing a Bible study, and I enjoyed that so much before I wasn't even in Greek life. And then I joined Zeta, and we started doing Bible studies, and I was involved in the Greek gatherings that Greek IV had once a month, and I really enjoyed that, and that really solidified my choice of choosing Zeta and also being involved in Greek IV. So fast forward to August, I moved into the sorority house, and it was a big adjustment at first, moving in with 100 girls, and also with COVID, not really having a solid normal Greek life experience was very hard to adjust to. And I also just wasn't used to the normal things that came with Greek life, like partying, drinking, all that stuff. I wasn't used to it, and it was really hard to adjust to that. And I found myself trying to fit in, just going with it, and that led to going out almost 5 nights a week, drinking a lot, falling into temptations constantly, and just going along with what everyone else did. I felt like I was kind of living a double life because I was also distancing myself from God a little bit, not really involved in my own faith life, wasn't going to Greek IV events as much as I'd wanted to, and really the only thing I was doing faith-wise was meeting once a week for discipleship with Ashley, and then I would go straight back to the house and continue what I was doing socially, and it just didn't feel right to me, but I didn't want to change because I still wanted to fit in. And so that kind of continued throughout the summer and then into my junior year. But it started to become more clear in my mind that I wasn't happy, but I still wasn't really ready to change, but I knew something was off. And that all started to change when I said yes to going to the Greek InterVarsity Lead Summit. So going into Lead Summit, I really had zero expectations. I didn't expect to do so much self-reflection and really work on my relationship with Jesus at this conference. I thought it was about how to just become an overall better Bible study leader, but I was slightly wrong. One of the sessions was about how people idolize things over God, and I really felt a little called out. After this session, I really took the time to really reflect on what the speaker was saying, just pinpointing those things that I was chasing and weren't making me happy and weren't fulfilling me the way my relationship with God would. And I really reflected on how I wanted to change and do things that would make my life happier and to be living a life like Jesus would want me to. And all of that personal self-reflection really made me see that I wanted to make a big change in my life. So after Lead Summit, I felt the need to really verbalize all the things that I was processing. So I decided to talk to Ashley about it. We really just talked about all the changes I was wanting to make in my life and how listening and acting on what I felt that God wanted for me was so freeing and so joyful, and I felt like I was truly happy in what I was doing, and really listening to God in that moment, but also verbalizing it, meaning I had to start acting on the changes I wanted to make, and coming to terms with that was hard at first, because that's just what I was used to, with going out and partying and being with my friends all the time. And it was hard knowing that I was going to be different than my friends, and realizing that being different wasn't always bad, and that this kind of different was going to be good and was going to benefit me in so many ways. So a lot of the changes that I wanted to make was going out, but just going out to be with my friends and have fun, and also looking for those spiritual conversations, and talking to people about God, and talking to people about Greek IV and the randomest places. And it was a fun experience to see how God can still use me in those scenarios, in those situations, whether it's at a sorority house, a fraternity house, a party, a bar, just all those places where people wouldn't normally think to talk about God. And all these lifestyle changes that I was making last year, it became really apparent that God is going to use me and all of us in every situation and anywhere. And it's just a matter of whether we're willing to accept that challenge.